Good evening and welcome to the October Heritage Wilmot and Castle Advisory Committee meeting. We will start off by calling the meeting to order. May I have a mover and a seconder? Stuart and Matt. The Heritage Wilmot and Castle Kilbride Advisory Committee on October 14th, 2025 has been called to order at 7:02. I will read the territorial and land acknowledgement. We've gathered in Wilmot Township on the traditional territory of the neutral Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and Mississauga peoples. We want to acknowledge the importance of the Dish with One Spoon Covenant, a peace agreement made between Indigenous nations before the Europeans arrived. It characterizes our collective responsibility to each other and Mother Earth. We should take only what we need, leave enough for others, and keep the dish clean. By acknowledging this covenant and the First Nations Métis and Inuit peoples, we are reminded of our important connection to this land where we live, learn, and work together as a community. Does anyone have any disclosure of pecuniary interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act? Seeing none. The next item is to approve the meetings of the previous meeting. Are there any comments or questions?
So moved.
Okay. So thank you. Moved by Stuart, seconded by Colleen.
Called the vote.
Okay. Oh, what? Do I call a vote?
You call the vote. All those in favor.
All those in favor.
Just don't want to marginalize them.
Okay. Thank you. I need the help. Okay. So the minutes of the August 12, 2025 Heritage Wilmot and Castle Kilbride Advisory Committee are adopted as presented. The next item is Heritage Wilmot business. Rachel will speak to this.
Thank you. So tonight the first item is HCAC. Oh, sorry guys, I'm learning how to use the computer. First item is HCAC 0825 90 Wilmot Street, New Hamburg, proposed signage. So 90 Wilmot Street was constructed in 1847 and formerly home to the Waterlot Restaurant, also referred to as the Scott Murner Kirkpatrick Home. The building was designated in 1987 and is a significant landmark in the Heritage Conservation District. It's considered an example of an opulent local residence built in the Gothic Revival style of architecture with Italianate influences. In September 2023, the previous committee endorsed the redevelopment and restoration plans for the building. The addition has now been completed and features a ground level commercial and retail space with a catering kitchen. The commercial tenant is now proposing new signage to advertise their business, the Garden Stand, with a ground sign and 3 fascia signs. So as you can see up on the screen is an illustration of the proposed ground sign. It's made from black double-sided aluminum composite panel on 2 wood posts. And the logo is crafted from wood and PVC, and it's proposed to be a max of 5 feet tall. The next photo is an illustration of the proposed fascia signs. They are 48 inches in diameter, and they match the logo of the ground sign and are also made of wood and PVC. Yeah, so I have some photos of those to share. So this is a partial site plan, and this red line right here depicts where the ground sign is proposed. So this corner of the building here is part of the new addition, and the existing building is actually this one back here. So it's a little easier to see in this photograph. It's really small, guys. I'm sorry about that. Here we go. So it will be near the sidewalk here, and as you can see, those 3 fascia signs are already up on the building, and they realized they needed a permit after the fact. So I just wanted to clarify that there. So you can see the addition is, while closer to the road, it's set back farther than the original part of the building, and the sign isn't intended to obstruct the existing features, architectural details of the original building. So staff are recommending endorsement of this sign this evening. And I'll send it back to Kristen and let me know if you have any questions.
Are there any members who have questions of the staff? Could I have a motion from the committee on this item? Matt? Seconded by Colleen. Are all those in favor? Opposed? Okay, motion carried. The next item is Heritage Wilmot and Castle Kilbride Advisory Committee. Oh, sorry, did we just do that?
We are on to 5.2.
Yeah, okay.
I'll take it.
Oh, this is the library sign replacement. Yes, sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. So HCAC 1025, New Hamburg Library sign replacement. So 145 Huron Street is the address of the library. It was constructed in 1914 and is located within the New Hamburg Heritage Conservation District. It was one of the libraries constructed thanks to the grants provided by Andrew Carnegie. And this property is identified as classification A on the building inventory, which gives the main heritage character to the district. So up on the screen, I will zoom in a little bit. So this is a replacement of the existing sign. The current sign has been weathered, and you can see that there's been some minor graffiti, so that's why the library is looking to replace it at this time. This is their standard sign across their branches in the region. Really only the addition that's being added is that our logo for the township is being added here, as the township owns the building, but the region runs the library. So the proposed sign is also double-sided aluminum panel mounted on wood posts. And while the Heritage District does encourage traditional materials, this is a replacement sign. It's not going to be on the facade of the building, so it won't impact the heritage structure or the features itself. And so there's another view there. Staff are recommending endorsement of the proposed sign, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.
Yes, through the chair. How does this compare in size to the sign it's replacing?
The existing sign, it's the same.
Same?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there any opportunity to make the sign, excuse me, less generic?
So we did ask whether the library could look into getting some quotes to see if they could find some alternatives in materials that would fit the district, and they provided us with their standard signage. So I think like cost and material wise, like in terms of longevity and maintenance, they would prefer this. I think staff would like to work with them in the future to try and see if there would be some type of grant or funding opportunity to try and get something that would fit the district better. But I'm not sure at this time the appetite to do that. So this is what we've been proposed tonight. We can go back and ask if they have any other ideas, but this is before us tonight. So
Yes, through the chair. Just trying to determine other libraries in the region that are Carnegie-funded libraries. So thinking back to the fact that they would be of the same era, do we have a unique opportunity here with a Carnegie-funded one as compared to the other libraries in the region, which might, generic sign would be appropriate? I would agree with Matt that here's a window of opportunity to pursue looking at something that is more fitting to the heritage. I think, why not? So I guess that's the piece of leverage that I might ask is there other libraries that are of in the regional system.
Yeah.
That-
So as staff, I would have to go back.
Yeah, that's
and-
fine.
And take
Yeah.
this back to the region and see if they have any other examples. I know that this is the exact same sign that they're proposing at their branch in Baden, which is not in a historical district, right? So it is a kind of their standard sign, so there could be an opportunity. Again, the sign, because it is a ground sign, like it's not permanent, so again, it's up to the committee whether they want to endorse it or not. We can go back to them and see if there's more work that we can do to work together to find something that the committee's happy with.
Is there any way that we could see if there's any discretionary funds that could be used to perhaps entice them into finding a different alternative to this?
Yeah, staff will, I will take that back to the region and see what can be done.
Do we, excuse me, need a motion, or do we just have consensus on this?
I think we might need a motion, I guess, against. I'm looking to the,
A motion against or a motion to postpone?
My recommendation.
I would move a motion that we investigate alternatives for a sign that is more typical of the Heritage District.
Okay, can we make that then the motion, as Stuart,
Yes.
has said? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, the motion would be to refer it back to staff to investigate, and then the words, it is a secondary motion to the main motion, so if it carries, we will leave the main motion on the floor to come back after staff have that information. So we'll need a vote on Councillor Cressman's motion.
What are we going to do without you, Kate?
Okay, moving on the second, on Councillor Cressman's motion, do we have anyone moving, does anyone move that? Okay, Colleen, and seconded by Susan. So, yeah, we'll do that. Okay, call a vote, yes. And a vote, all in favor? Opposed? Okay. The next item is on the Bridges of Wilmot Township. Subcommittee members, if there's anything to update, now's your chance.
Since I'm the committee of one and could fit into a phone booth, no, nothing has been done since our last meeting, and again, we hope to start working on that once Al's back, the keeper of all information from Wilmot Township at the historical basis.
Similarly, the Property Heritage Designation Subcommittee, is there anything, that's me and that's Matt?
I don't have anything, no.
I also don't have anything. Okay, Heritage Day 2026, Rachel has something to say about that?
yes, I was hoping tonight that we could find some volunteers who would like to join a subcommittee to plan the 2026 Heritage Day. I know we had a little bit of conversation at our last meeting about potential dates and themes, so it would be great if we could get that committee formed so we can meet and start that planning process. So if anybody's interested, we'd be looking for 3 members.
Just to refresh your memory, was a date selected?
No, a date wasn't selected. We did figure out though that the Family Day weekend is the weekend of Valentine's Day.
What would be required as a volunteer on this committee? What are you looking?
Yeah, so we'll be meeting to pick a date, a theme. Sherry and myself will also be involved in helping plan that event, which again does generally fall in February on that Family Day weekend. I do know that there was some weather issues, to my understanding, last year, which impacted the numbers that came out. So hopefully we can have a plan this year and maybe have a backup plan in case something like that happens again. So yeah, just general planning. So if anyone's interested, let me know and we can create that subcommittee. Susan? Okay.
I'm willing to sit again.
Okay.
And I think Al was as well, but you just need to double check with him.
Right, exactly. Okay, so maybe if we have another member, then we could do 2 tonight, and if we don't have a third, then we could. Colleen? Okay, great. All right, so we can, I know that there was some blanks in that motion that we had, so if we can appoint, the members, Hammer and Herner tonight, and then come back to the next meeting to confirm if we can get a third member. So I'll pass that motion back to you, Kristen. Yeah, we do have a recommendation to.
Okay, the motion that recommended that, that 2 volunteers have stepped forward, a third may be possible at the next meeting, and that will be determined at that point. Very good. Is this a votable item?
Yes.
Okay. Moved by Matt, second Stuart, all in favor?
Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Carried? Okay, moving on to Castle Kilbride business. Heritage Wilmot and Castle Kilbride Advisory Committee received a report HCAC 09-25 for information purposes. And Manny O'Krafka, you are the Manager of Community Services, and you'll speak to this item in Sherry's absence.
Yes, thank you for having me here this evening. Sherry is away on vacation this week and asked if I just kind of present some highlights on her behalf for the report. In August, both vacationers and locals carved out time to visit the museum. We increased our hours this summer by opening on Tuesdays, and it was a resounding success. Our regular admissions were up significantly. Our popular events, such as the Castle concerts and tea and tours, were well attended. The final concert, unfortunately, was rained out, so we didn't get a proper finish to the season as we hoped. September was the time to tour, what traditionally is a slower month for traffic this year. We did not slow for a second. As you can see from the numbers, our regular traffic was up significantly. The highlight was welcoming all grade 10 history students from Waterloo, Oxford. Staff loved the enthusiasm and engagement from the students. Speaking of students, we also have a co-op student joining us this semester. And looking ahead, we were worried about low visitation for ghost walks, but that has not been the case so far in October. Each night has added at least 2 extra time slots, which filled up quickly. And looking forward not only to the Christmas season, but wanted to advise about a new event that we're planning. We received some funding from Waterloo Region Community Foundation, and we're planning an event, Community Carols at the Castle on Saturday, December the 6th. Happy to either answer any questions or take them back for Sherry to provide more information at the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay, are there any questions from the committee?
Are we, through the chair, do we take auditions for the carol singers?
We actually already found someone from Stratford. She works at the Stratford Museum and is part of a caroler group.
Okay, could I have a motion from the committee on this item? Moved by Stuart, seconded by Matt. Okay, motion carried. Oh, all those in favor, sorry, all those in favor. Opposed? Carried. Next item is Castle Kilbride's 150th anniversary. We're looking for an update from subcommittee of Colleen and Susan.
It will happen.
Yeah, Al has been indisposed of the cottage
yeah.
for the last, so.
Unfortunately, there has not been a meeting, and we will be working on that as soon as we get Al back and Sherry back. Lots of plans are in the works, but actually for 4 people to sit down and verbalize anything, but we've all have thoughts. It'll be great.
I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Okay, yeah, yes.
Remind me, through the chair, remind me when the date of the 150th anniversary is.
We're going to celebrate it all year.
Which year?
At 27. So we were allowing ourselves time to get everything into place instead of trying to rush it and not have anything done properly.
Okie dokie. Are there any announcements or information sharing or items for the next meeting? Any announcements from members of the committee? Stuart.
maybe I'm just asking questions, but I usually do that. The Bridges Committee, is there a target year for that, or how do we, Bridges of Wilmot, or is that just kind of something that we cross those bridges when we get to them? Or? No, just looking for kind of a timeline. Is that just something that's ongoing? And once we have information pertaining to it, then I guess the AL's been kind of the...
I seem to recall that it was discussed that the next Heritage Day, that this subject be on bridges. Does anyone else remember that being the case?
It was one of the suggestions, but I'm not sure anything has actually been decided as to the topic. But, I mean, we know that there's always ongoing work on bridges.
My suggestion is unless we can do I'm not suggesting we wouldn't do anything but a good job, but unless we had adequate time to prepare and collect archival information, it might be difficult to pull off in the short term.
Is there anything else that the committee would like to discuss for our next meeting? Okay, our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, November 12th, 2025 at 7 p.m. This is on Wednesday because of Remembrance Day on the day previous. So if I may have a motion to adjourn. Okay, Stuart, seconded. Colleen, all those in favor? Okay, the Heritage Wilmot and Castle Kilbride Advisory Committee meeting on October 14th, 2025 has been adjourned